when humanity left Earth, I bet most of them were worried we'd never find another planet like it again. I wonder how they felt when they landed on Genesis.
You will be scanned as you enter the city. Please keep... Okay, no bounty.
Ah, if it isn't my favorite part-time security officer. I do. Thanks to you, the spaceport is up and running again, which is good for commerce. We've received a tip that someone has been bringing in contraband into New Atlantis through the spaceport, and we... Great. First, ask them if they've noticed. Once you've gotten a lead, cross-reference their testimony with shipwreck. When you're done, report. Remember that job you did for Agent Plato? I finally had a reason to call in that favor he owes us. I asked him to pull the names and cargo of every potential smuggling ship that docked in. He said he'll have a slate ready for you. Well, technology-wise, criminals have always been one step ahead. Smugglers often have a fancy shielding or scan jammers that allow them to evade, but luckily, we can still use all... The whole department is in the process of recovering, myself included. If I'm being honest, I still have nightmares of my team turning on one another. Things can be replaced and wounds can be healed, but building back that trust in each other is going to... Luckily, we've built a good culture here, and we hired some new recruits who were inspired by what you did. See you later.
Your cooperation.
Oh yeah, that's UC Security. They're busier than normal these days, it seems.
Authorized personnel. Friend has to stay here.
Welcome back, Captain. Do you have some news for me regarding Dr. Olays? So he didn't come quietly then, as I suspected. I presume you have evidence of this. Excellent. Please, deposit it in the transfer system.
Transfer accepted.
Would you look at that? Kept it all these years. Some simply couldn't let go of that old world. This is fine work, Captain. I can ensure the remaining team members find their way to the Red Devil's headquarters. Except for one. That one you'll need to collect yourself. His name is Kaiser. You can find him on the Freestar world of Nira, wandering the battlefield there. The area was ground zero for xeno-weapon deployments during the war, so I would arm yourself appropriately. And I think you'll want to check in with Hadrian and Dr. Walker before paying it a visit. Kaiser will likely have security protocols you'll need their help to overcome. A military Model A, yes. Specifically customized for the needs of the Xeno warfare team during the Colony War. A powerful resource, if you can recover him. Of course. We're protecting the galaxy, Captain. We'll need every tool at our disposal.
Captain, welcome back. I was afraid you might have gotten reassigned. You've been gone so long. So how's it feel to be a citizen? Must have changed up how the ceremony works. I just raised my hand and said, sure, I'm in. But it is real good to have you here again. We've been going through the Terramorph data and, well, these logs, they're even more thorough than I remembered. Genetic workups, population statistics, hell, even their food chain. I'd completely forgotten, for example, that there was a creature that actually ate Terramorphs. At this point, the data's given us more options to explore than we have people to work on them. That'd be something, wouldn't... I'm sorry, are you... You're serious? You found... our research team? That's... Wait. Kaiser. That's right. You would need that. Well, how? How exactly did you manage to find them? That's not funny. Seriously, how'd you find them? No. That's insane. He died. They faked his death? My entire unit, they threw us all to the wolves, but kept him? And now he's what? An advisor? Commanding the fleet in secret? What was so important that they had to keep him alive? Oh, they certainly picked an expert, didn't they?
Vade Victus, the war criminal, is still alive. The UC had to be in on it. There's no other possibility, is there? What a damn nightmare.
I guess it makes sense, though, doesn't it? The UC of that era only created me because they were afraid of a world without Vade Victus in command. Why would they get rid of him? As long as I live, I'll never understand them. You've got nothing to apologize for. Because the UC, they did a lot of terrible things for that man. But even knowing they did, knowing that they kept him alive all this time, it's hope. I had no one when I was outside the UC. No Red Devils, no family. But that old world, where I was no one and my father mattered, thanks to what you and I have done, I have a place again. A purpose. But it's finally one I can be proud of. You and I, we're getting to change what the UC stands for. So I don't care if Vade Victus is alive or dead. He can rot for all I care. We're the ones who are making the settled systems and the UC better. Precisely. Because there's nothing we can do about past choices. What we can do. So, let's get... Now, my father just handing over the information on the research. But, if he has something to gain from helping us prevent terramorph attacks... So while you'll absolutely want to be cautious, what would you think about trying to bring back... I think it's the right call. But if Kaiser has been out wandering on his own for all this time, you're gonna need a couple things. I know it's here somewhere. Ah. Here, Kaiser schematics. Actuators, weapons, batteries. That old robot's been MIA for a while, so chances are he's gonna need some repairs. He's also got a lock on his voice controls. You can give yourself authorization with the phrase, Nos belli machinis. Now, where exactly is the old machine? A battlefield? On Nira? Ugh, sheesh. No wonder no one's found him. That sector of Nira was destination #1 for xenoweapons during the war. Add to that general environmental devastation, and the kind of lawlessness that comes with any Freestar world, and that planet's got more than enough ways to make a visit your last. But I think there's a place where you can start your search. Yep. One-of-a-kind salvage. Licensed to an Angelo Alonso. Goes by Gel. As good a place to start as any. Kaiser lets us do field work with a level of precision that there's really no... More than a few of the options we're looking into. Detectors to uncover the terramorph transmission method, or crafting a targeted biological agent. They require highly specific materials to test against. And asking a group of Marines to accompany us for that kind of work, well, it usually ended up with ruined samples and wounded teammates. The Colony War saw a lot of hard fighting, but Nira got it the worst. Everything the Freestar Collective and UC could muster, ground troops, xenoweapons, mechs, was hurled into the fray. Both sides hoped something would decisively turn the tide, but it never did. When the war finally ended, swaths of that world were so devastated they were effectively abandoned. So what Kaiser's doing there of all places? And I'll make sure we're ready to put him to use as soon as you got him.
What's on your mind?
The Mantis! The Mantis!
recover quickly. Others are sealed in a vacuum forever.
What the heck?
Whoa!
You looking for advice on heading out into the fields? Jill's happy to oblige.
We couldn't have safer
New model
next.
on the floor.
The technology could have been...
Welcome to the one-of-a-kind. Refuge
It
and
was
rest
horrific.
home for the hardest scrappers anywhere. Name's Jill. So formal. The pleasure's all mine, my good man. Angelo Alonso, at your service. You can call me Jill. Can I get you started on a tab, then? Or you here to try and make your fortune in the fields? I'm happy to take your... No better selection. Kaiser? No bot around here with that tag. Oh, unless you mean Captain Ahab? At least, that's what we've all been calling him. No clue what his actual designation is, since he's got some sort of security protocol that prevents inquiries and general chit-chat. But he's a combat bot, right? Yeah, that machine's been out there a while. His white whale. But it's been a while since anyone's laid eyes on Captain Ahab, though. Maybe he finally... That's where I recognize that insignia. Red Devils. Yeah, Ahab's definitely your bot. So, sounds like you've got two options. You can wander around out there, hunting your bot, little old white whale of your very own. Maybe you find him. But knowing this rock is part of what we do here, So if you want to find him a whole lot faster, I'll sell you what I know about this. Going rate's a little steep. I mean, great for him. And honestly, would you be able to tell if a Terramorph... I'm listening. This is what you call... There's nothing to talk... Yeah, sure there... Look, I'm gonna stop you there. I've got... pleasure doing business. So, last anyone heard of him, he was out near the Syracuse. Shipwreck about a quarter click down. One of my roughnecks said he heard some kind of beacon. Just keep your eyes open, too. Sirens and ecliptic out there. Oh, and corpse retrieval is not included in this trend. Give Ahab a kite.
Shame you wouldn't have safer meds. Technology was... It was horrific.
Simple. Love it. Nice work extracting that sample. Is this for science, profit, or snacks? Can't say I'm sad to see machines of violence get deconstructed into nothingness.
Voice
wild that now, after all these years, this uncrewed, nearly destroyed ship is still dangerous?
Salvage yard.
If I was a smuggler right now, I would pick a spot just like this to hide the good stuff.
What can I do for you? Lots of money to be made on mech scrap if you know where to. And I just happen to sell a guide that'll show you the best spots to get started. Couple of words of warning, though. As you may have put together, Neera's more dangerous than a cellophane airlock. UC brought xeno-weapons here during the Colony War, and more than a few decided to put down roots. Sirens are the... You've also got the unauthorized scrappers. Ecliptic being the worst of the bunch. Kill you for... Luckily, we sell a wide array of problem solvers in various colors and calibers. Ah, so that's where your machine's been. Heat leeches, wasn't it? Those little stowaways are everywhere on this rock. Suck the power... But a microcell... That's military-grade tech. I think you could probably Frankenstein one together using our fabrication system here, but only... So, I just brace for a little... Wouldn't have lasted real long here, doing what we do without a top-notch. So long as you've got the specs, it should be able to handle making. But finding materials up to the task, you're likely going to be sifting through quite a few mech hulks out there to find what you need. Though, if you think you can actually manage something like that, I'm willing to... Spots where you should be able to find... But in return, any excess material, save us from risking our necks on another run-out. Then let me just mark those collection points.
That right there. Did you get it? Oh yeah? Love it. Let's go. creatures have so much in common everywhere we go. Yet they are so different. barely took any time to make at all. Wild.
Battery X. Operational power levels restored. Analyzing. Residual damage detected. Impact shielding. Visual systems. Damage within acceptable limits. Thank you for your aid. I must resume my mission. Please step aside. Major Sanon will have to wait. I cannot leave my mission. Although previous attempts to disarm the weapon have been unsuccessful, additional support may allow me to complete my active mission, allowing me to leave. Excellent. We must disarm Unit XW-99. Designation Siren.
Kaiser, I think you're on the fritz. You're not seriously suggesting we fight an actual Xeno weapon.
I am suggesting precisely that. I have thus far been... Correct. Unit 99 is a Siren, a deadly biological specimen deployed to Nera during the Colony War. Engineered for combat efficiency, execution of said specimens is the standard method of Xeno weapon disarmament. Follow me. Mind your step. As you have no doubt witnessed, this region can be hazardous to organics. Systems suggest hostiles in area. Threat confirmed. Eliminating. Damage sustained. Damage.
Quit it! Watch out. That's going to be messy. Lifting, scrounging for mech parts in this heat is not what I wanted to see today.
Detecting Unit 99. But there is a complication. Unit 99 is on the other side of that reach, but it appears to be under the control of hostile forces. Sensors suggest Ecliptic, a mercenary company like Ecliptic, would only want Unit 99 to utilize it as a weapon. This means Unit 99 must be disarmed immediately. Standard procedure would be a frontal assault.
Ecliptic isn't going to back down.
Moving out.
Yeah?
Probable threat detected. Search successful. Beginning elimination.
Let's see if this thing still fights. Release the weapon.
No time.
You'll have to try again. Time of death. Rapidly approaching.
Take cover! What?
Evaluation.
You aren't ready for this, but I am. Incoming!
Injury sustained. Try again.
Sure! I've got some time to kill. Sure! I've got some time to kill.
Unit.
Extracting decent specimens is delicate work.
Mine, however, continues.
Sure. Just... Uh-huh.
work here is finished. Now, a plague of terramorph attacks. That is disconcerting. You are docked at one of a kind. I will meet you there.
I can't believe it.
Major Sanon, Dr. Walker.
You're in better shape than I expected, Kaiser. Shouldn't take us long to get you back up to full fighting capacity.
This is good to hear. I was told there was a new threat on the horizon. I wish to learn more.
Percival will give you the full story.
Plus, get you dressed for the occasion.
Occasion? Where are we going?
Londinian.
Londinian. Doctor, I will require additional armaments.
That's the plan. Come on.
Captain, you're with me. Time to walk you through what we came up with. So the problem we're up against is vast. Terramorphs, they can be anywhere. Meaning us finding and disposing of them ourselves isn't an option. But what if we could let something else do the work for us? Come on. I'll walk you through what we're thinking.
Hey, stranger. Let's chat sometime, okay?
You remember that creature we talked about before you went to Nira? The thing that eats terramorphs, the Asylees? Apparently, they were bloodhounds for terramorphs. But when the UC ran low on synthetic foods during the Colony War, the Asylees were chosen to fill in the gaps. We thought they were harvested to extinction. But in the data, the research team found the location of a few remaining specimens. As you can see, what we're proposing is bringing them back. We'd breed populations of them, distribute them to human worlds, and then let nature take its course, using a method that thousands of years of adaptation have already perfected. We could speed up their breeding process using, well, using some of the same technologies that were used to create me. We even think that with some time and investigation, we could use the Asylees' hunting skills to track down the terramorph transmission method at long last. Find out how humanity spread them and put an end to the terramorph problem definitively. I suppose that's a fair comparison. Except that this time, we'd be protecting human lives, not ending them. Now, there is another option for removing the terramorphs from our worlds. It's faster, maybe even more efficient, but riskier. A microbe. Something we could aerosolize, let spread, and have it clean up anything with terramorph DNA for us, which would include morphs, and we expect their transmission method. It'd still take time to build, test, and distribute, but no other method could hold a candle to it when it comes to sheer efficiency. Not even the Asylees.
I mean, I understand the alternative isn't great, but the idea of doing something like that makes my skin crawl.
The risks should be manageable, but they won't be non-existent. With either path, though, we're looking at a long-term commitment. Years of work. Even just getting these plans off the ground is going to take time. And all routes are going to require some highly specific materials to make things work. Terramorph cell lines we can breed quickly and consistently to test on. Seeley's gene samples we can use to rebuild their bloodlines. Or sharpen our microbes tracking skills. Not the sort of things any labs just got lying around. But we think we found a lead. One place in the known galaxy where we know we should be able to find all the materials we need. All paths lead to Londinian. It's dangerous, yes. But Kaiser, Percival, and I, we've trained for this. And you're not so green yourself. And the last thing I want right now is for the UC to stick us with some gung-ho jarhead who's gonna put us and the mission at risk. Captain, you're the reason we're all here right now. You're the person I think can help us finish it. Will you join us on this? Exactly what I was hoping to hear. Now, the UC has a small operating base on Londinian's outskirts. We're cleared for access, but we'll need to check in with the base commander, Sarah Hatoum, when we touch down. I'm gonna help Percival and Kaiser prep, but once that's done, we'll rendezvous with you there. But you need to know, Londinian? It belongs to the Terramorphs. They'll have anti-Xeno gear for us at the base, but I'd make sure you've got your favorite arms on hand.
Take a break. Let's chat. You know, I needed this. Exploring the galaxy with you by day, investigating the mysterious legal woes of my long-dead spouse by night. Vasco never appreciated my humor that much. I was just remembering how I'd pour my heart out to Vasco. I told him all about Irvin. He showed me a chart of how sad I should. Oh, we got to point B many times just fine. Top-notch co-pilot. Would recommend. Anyway, I'm glad you're here right now because we have things to discuss. I heard back from my contact. They looked into Hephaestus Mining Corporation. Looks like they paid off the judge. And that's not all. My contact really came through for us. Turns out the witness was threatened until he withdrew. And thanks to our contact, we now... My contact has an audio log with the identity of the speaker verified, time-stamped, everything. Bank transactions. A precise amount was transferred to the judge only. I'm glad you're confident already. I'm worried we don't have enough evidence to go up against a man. So I know a cyber runner who has accessed corporate archive. They can dig into the classified archives. We can pay extra for them to use less legal methods to obtain information. Oh, good call. Reputation is pretty important for people. Depending on what they find out, it might be time to talk to a lawyer. Whew. Taking on Hephaestus isn't going to be easy. Maybe I should study up on the art of cross-examination. That's solid advice. Know your actual limitations, and not the ones granted to you by a mysterious superpower. Anyway, let's go adventure while we wait on the cyber... I don't know if I could work in a place like this. I appreciate the research, but yikes. Glad to see some good research being done.
Oh, this
But I can't say I'm less
planet.
worried.
You romanticize a place when you're away from it for long enough, but I forgot what it does. Now you, what do you need? Oh, that's you then. I was informed we might be working together. Don't much care for Vanguard. It sounds like you two really got into the thick of it back in New Atlantis. My sister's kids live in the city, so, Yeah, they both came through okay. One science division, others effectively useless human beings that would have had no reason to be anywhere near the fighting. Still, would hate to see anything. Now, what was it you needed? If anyone can pull off something as downright lunatic as that, and I'll make sure they've got all the supplies they might need to... That's correct. Ran logistics for the Devils for years before getting this. Military logistics isn't usually thrilling work, but as coordinating habitats, stalking the UC for a rancher, so when I heard things might be... Everything up to spec.
Can I carry that? Well, that's all I have to.
No more reliable hardware?
is off limits. You were advised to jump to safe harbor immediately. Let me check my logs.